Good day, my plant foldies. This is Richie at Grow Folds, and today will be big box store plant shopping at the Lowe's off of Highway 121 in Southwest McKinney, Texas. As always, please hit that like button, that thumbs up button for this video, as it helps push this content out to more plant lovers like yourself, as well as following me on Instagram at GrowFolds. That is the fastest and most direct way to get in touch with me if you have any questions about the plants I feature during our plant shopping videos, or if you just want to connect with me about anything else plant related. As you can see right here, it is a late afternoon at this Lowe's location. It is super windy because earlier that morning that I filmed this video, we actually had tornado watches out in North Dallas. That is where I'm based at. And for those that are new to the channel, I did want to go ahead and invite you first to the Cultivation Corner Plant Podcast show on YouTube. It is with Janae Simone and Steven of I Live Plants. We are now on season 2, and every Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. Central Standard US time, we actually premiere a video. We are on season 2 again, and this is a plant podcast where obviously we talk about all things related to plants, plant topics. It's really fun, and I am just happy to also announce we have some merch.
Y'all see the shirts that we're rocking? I mean, isn't this fly? This is fly. See, this could be in your closet. You know what I'm saying? We are selling these limited edition Cultivation Corner sweatshirts right now.
Season 2?
That's right.
Season 2.
Season 2. Listen, if you want one, you better get up on it because, like I said, they're limited. So
send us a DM in the Cultivation Corner Instagram so we can go ahead and get that custom sizing.
That's right.
You could be like us.
That's right. You don't want FOMO on this one, you guys. You need this is what couture.
Cultivation couture.
Cultivation couture.
And with spring 2025 underway, I am just really excited to show our plant foldy community. And for those that are new to the channel, I call my viewers and subscribers plant foldies. Welcome. My name is Richie, and I do daily plant shopping videos with a live premiere chat. You can see that I will be featuring a lot of these outdoor gardening plants. Now over here we have a Croton Petra. Now crotons are readily available in Southeast Asian countries. A lot of people will either love them or not be a fan of them. I absolutely adore them. I love crotons, and I am glad that just coming back from PlantCon 2025 in Orlando, Florida, I was able to see a lot of different rare or more uncommon varieties of crotons. Now with crotons, they would love to have a lot of bright light. They like full sun if you're able to acclimate them, and in terms of growing them, they do best when they are outdoors. They do not like the cold, so it's interesting how a lot of big box stores in the fall months in the United States at least will have a lot of these crotons readily available. I think it's because it does have more of the fall color leaves. But as far as this plant, this is a Southeast Asian plant. It is one of those plants that needs higher humidity levels, lots of light, and it's just another plant that I feel like is marketed more for the season, even though it doesn't really fit the season. So I'm just going to keep walking around the outdoor section right here and showing you some of these plants. It is super windy still out in North Dallas, and so I'm not going to spend too much time outside. I did just want to pan over and show the viewers that there are more plants that are starting to fill up the outdoor sections. Really excited to actually do some outdoor gardening, because just as much as I love doing indoor tropical plants and doing content about indoor tropical plants, I also want to delve into gardening, especially landscaping, vegetable gardening, and all of that. And I have mentioned this in some of my videos, but I will be creating a Patreon page as well as a YouTube membership where you're going to get a lot of just behind the scenes, a lot more content than I would just for my daily plant shopping videos. So I am inviting you guys to join that. It's just going to be a small monetary monthly fee to be a member, but just know some of the perks. I'm really brainstorming some of my ideas for it, but a couple of ideas that have come to mind is more frequent posts about some of my personal plants. I will definitely have only membership or Patreon exclusive videos, so that extra content. I'm thinking of doing live streams where I'm talking to you guys directly. And for my top tier super plant foldy members, I may be able to just create a Zoom call where I will actually have a Zoom group call where you guys can join in and talk to me directly. So those are just a couple of ideas I'm actually putting out there. Let me know in the comments section what other extra content you'd be interested in if you were to join my Patreon page as well as my YouTube membership program. Anyways, going back to the plants, you can see that this particular Lowe's is actually getting quite a bit of plants. I am excited to show you what they have in terms of the indoor tropical plants, because I already know the majority of you guys want to see the indoor tropical plants. You know, for some reason, when you make content on YouTube, but before I say anything about that, I did want to say, look at this Hedera Helix, or what you call the Hedera Helix English Ivy. That's the correct way to say it, $4.98. But what I was mentioning is whenever you're making plant content on YouTube, it has to almost be a specific niche. For instance, it would be more so like the indoor tropical plants, but sometimes when you mix niches, like go into gardening or something outside of the subject, it doesn't always bode well in terms of getting your videos pushed out, which means I hope that everybody who has already clicked on this video or has discovered this video will give me a chance and actually, number one, watch the whole video through, but number two, please press the thumbs up or the like button for this video. It is super simple, but it does a world of wonders in terms of pushing this content out to more plant lovers like yourself. So I'm just going to keep showing you guys all of the plants. So we're in this indoor area right over here. All you can see is this gorgeous Aglaonema. I believe this is an Aglaonema Golden Bay. I really love the look of this Aglaonema Golden Bay. It almost looks like a, similar to the Aglaonema White Rain, which I was able to actually meet the hybridizer, the creator of the Aglaonema White Rain at PlantCon 2025 in Orlando, Florida. His name is Sir Clay of Valkyria Gardens. I'm super excited that I met him. And if you know that I just really love Aglaonemas, just meeting somebody who actually created it and hybridized and created a plant that I often see at a big box store is amazing. So please make sure you are following Valkyria Garden off of Instagram. If you can, please definitely support him. And if you live in the Florida area, definitely visit his garden center. He has so many different types of Aglaonemas, and you can see right over here, this Golden Bay is beautiful, by Urban Jungles. This one is for $19.98. You can see that it's got some beautiful white stems. I love white stem Aglaonema. And then you can see that there is a faint golden center on the leaves. And then you can see that it's also got a nice leaf shape. It's a little bit more narrow, but this is a plant that gets really large. And that's the thing about Aglaonema. I am very much blunt and very direct about how I believe everybody should have an Aglaonema in their plant collection. It is one of those plants that I feel like is underrated, overlooked, but it is so beautiful, and it can, in my eyes, in my opinion, can rival the variegated monsteras, the variegated philodendrons. I think there is a certain quality about the Aglaonema, and to me, just like I've talked about a lot of the plant content on this video, I am also all about really promoting positivity, having a safe space for a plant community. I always believe that when you root for the underdog, or actually take a second glance for the person that you don't necessarily pay attention to, they have so much to offer. It's just all about giving them a chance. So that's really my rant on Aglaonemas, but for now, I'm going to go ahead and just show you all of the Urban Jungle, Live Trend, and Costa Farms plants that are available here. Let me know in the comment section what you think. I mean, like these ones right here are for $13.98. You can see right over here, plant foldies, so many Costa Farms plants. This one is a philodendron Calkins Gold. Now they have labeled this as a philodendron painted lady, but this is actually a Calkins Gold. Really love the look of this particular philodendron. Super yellow, but in order for it to really maintain that color, you're gonna have to put in a little bit more work. It is a philodendron that really is influenced by the amount of light you provide it. So you have to provide this plant quite a bit of bright indirect light in order for it to really hold on to that neon yellowish color. Otherwise, lower light conditions are going to give it more of a green tone. Needless to say, it is still a beautiful philodendron. There is a little bit of browning on the leaves, and I hope that these plants will either go on clearance so somebody can rescue them, because I would hate for these plants to go to plant heaven. You know, going to PlantCon and really learning about some of the nurseries and really seeing the hard work that is placed into growing the plants, you have to think these plants were either propagated through cuttings or grown from tissue culture. They were then potted up in plants, like planters, and then it takes several months or even more than a year for them to get to the sizes that they would be placed in to actually sell at a big box store. So once the plant is actually ready to go as like a full crop, they ship these out to all of these big box stores like Lowe's, Walmart, Home Depot, Target. And, you know, a lot of these plants, whenever I go plant shopping or just going shopping in general, I always wonder how many of these plants will either make it to plant heaven and how many of these plants will actually make it to great homes, to a plant foldy home, for instance. I'm just curious about that. And I really want to know y'all's thoughts on that subject. Please leave that in the comment section below. You already know plant foldies. If you are watching my video, I read every single comment that's placed into the comment section. I love to respond to y'all. I know a lot of you guys come in during the live premiere chats, and you can see right here, beautiful Mandula Pothos. I just wanted to point that out, and this Phalaenopsis orchid. But I love the fact that not only do you guys engage during a live premiere chat, which is typically at 7 p.m. Central Standard United States time, but you know you can carry on a full-blown conversation in the comment section, like a thread, like a message board. I don't know if you guys have been around for old school message boards where you go to a website and there is a message board that you can post on. I would like to encourage that type of engagement on the channel. So I'm hoping that you can give me some insights. But as you can see right over here, this whole section has quite a bit of Costa Farms plants, Epipremnum aureum, or what you call the golden pothos right over here. I would recommend that as an easy to care for plant. Same thing with these Dracaena dorados. Now this one is in a 5-inch planter for $8.98 with Dracaenas. Let's talk about Dracaenas. Green plants. They've got some beautiful colors as well. They can get large, they can get tall, they can tolerate a little bit lower light condition. They're not that fussy of a plant, yet we don't see them in a lot of people's plant collections. Whenever I actually watch a couple of other YouTube plant content creators and their house plant tours, I don't really see a lot of Dracaenas in their collection. For me, I think the Dracaenas need to be added into your collection because it is one of those plants that are really effective of cleaning the air in your environment. So that's always a health benefit. And then two, just the cost effectiveness of the plant is also nice. You can always go to a big box store and you'll be able to find something like this Dracaena Lemon Surprise by Costa Farms Exotic Angels. And it's one of those plants that long term, if you take the time to grow it, they can get into a really nice size statement piece plant. So for me, the theme is always going to be about rooting for the underdog or the plant that is always underrated and overlooked. So if that is the kind of content you want to watch on this plant video, please make sure you are subscribed to the YouTube channel. I've still noticed that quite a bit of our plant foldies may not necessarily be subscribed to the channel. I did want to celebrate the fact that we did finally reach the threshold of 12,000 subscribers on my GrowFold YouTube channel, and that is the reason why I wanted to go ahead and create a Patreon page. I feel like there is enough engagement, consistent engagement, where we can take this channel a little bit further, and I would love for you all to follow my journey as I continue to grow with you and grow this channel. Now, as far as growing plants, you can see that in terms of the selection of plants, the main three plant nurseries that provide to at least Lowe's and a lot of these big box stores would be the following. It would be Costa Farms plants, Urban Jungle plants, and Live Trends plants. Now at Home Depot, you will see Vigoro plants, and you will also see Proven Winners Leaf Joy series, as well as Nature's Way. So there's about 6 main nurseries out there, and I am thankful that there are many nurseries that you can choose from that provide these big box stores. Like this one right here, the Sansevieria Yellow Flame or Golden Flame. I think it's Yellow Flame, $15.98. What a beautiful plant. It's another low light tolerant, drought tolerant plant. And then you can see right here, Live Trends Designs. This is a beautiful pink planter. It's a self-watering planter, I believe, and look at how gorgeous that ficus ginseng is. It's got a very curated look for sure. Out of all of the nurseries, Live Trends Design really has a lot of thought process into how they present the plant. It's not just about growing the plant in a pot. It is finding a really nice statement piece that you can add into an environment. And then over here, you've got some beautiful Anthurium Super Balm, beautiful thick textures on the leaves. Really like that robust green tone it has. And this one again is another Live Trends plant. Look at that pink, that light pastel pink planter. I am a fan of that. I do believe that it would definitely fit into my plant aesthetic. And then you can see right here, I think this is a Calathea White Star. Please leave in the comments if I actually have the right plant ID, but that is another Live Trends plant. And then over here, we've got a Silver Marantha. And with the Silver Marantha, I love the plant. I tried to grow the plant. I ended up getting it for super cheap at a grocery store called HEB for $5, but I wasn't as consistent in the watering process for this plant. So therefore, this plant ended up making it to plant heaven, which is really disappointing for me because I really wanted to grow a silver band Marantha. It's one of those Maranthas that it's just beautiful, but it was one of those plants that unfortunately did not make it in my collection. Now over here is another super durable plant. This one is by Urban Jungle. This is a Peperomia obtusifolia golden, or a variegated peperomia. This one is so durable, very easy to care for. And then another durable or easy to care for plant is a Philodendron Hederaceum Brazil. Now with the Brazil, it does have better coloration when you give it that bright indirect light. And I did want to say, with a show of hands, with a show of comments, how many people have really good lighting conditions in your indoor space? Like, do you have a lot of windows, or do you have to supplement your lighting with a lot of grow lights? For me, I have a mixture of both. Fortunately, I have some really nice east-facing windows, a south-facing window, and a west-facing window, which I can give a a lot of my premium plants that require a lot of bright indirect light, that space. And this is another example of a plant that does need quite a bit of light in order for it to have that green on green variegation. This is the global green pothos by Costa Farms. This was originally a Japanese pothos. So this was a mutation that was discovered in Japan, cultivated and propagated to the point where it would have stable variegation. More light, better variegation. Less light, it becomes a little bit more green. And so I'm just going to keep picking up all of these plants right over here and showing you the selection that they have at this Lowe's. You can see that I have picked up several Costa Farms exotic angel plants. This one is the Moon Valley Pilea. Beautiful Pilea right over here. I really love that texture. It's so unique. And this is another plant that I would say needs to be in more of a terrarium or a higher humidity. Same thing with this Fittonia right over here. Love Fittonias, and I love the fact that this plant, also known as the nerve plant, has some really nice veining. This one is a combination planter by Costa Farms Houseplants. You can see right over here, we've got some white veining, some pink veining, and these ones right here are for $5.98. Costa Farms is really pushing out a lot of these new houseplants at these big box stores. So springtime is an exciting time to go houseplant shopping. I think that is really when it is peak time to go add plants to your plant collection, to go shopping, to go plant shopping at big box stores, especially when it comes to Costa Farms plants. That's when they release a lot of these house plants. I mean, you can see right over here, we've got a Belgian waffle plant, $16.98 in a 6-inch planter. And I really like the size of a 6-inch planter versus an 8-inch planter. I just feel like it's more manageable for me. It doesn't take nearly as much surface space, but needless to say, you really just want to assess the space you have. And then over here, we've got a Splash Hoya by Costa Farms. This one is for $20.84. I mentioned before that I wish there was more Hoya varieties available. It's nice to see a full hanging basket by Costa Farms provided at a big box store like Lowe's. So if you are a Hoya head, if you like to collect Hoyas, if Hoyas are your house plant choice to grow in your plant collection, you can still find them at a big box store. And Costa Farms definitely has that diversity of plants. Same thing with this lipstick plant. This is called the Mona Lisa. They almost remind me of Hoyas. It's got a very waxy tone about it. And I believe just like the Hoya, the lipstick plant is another plant that is really forgivable when it comes to underwatering the plant. I would say definitely provide bright indirect light for it. Definitely water when the soil is completely dry. And I believe this plant will give you a lot of joy in terms of just being an easy care for plant. And so I will just continue to pick up a lot of the plants that Costa Farms has. Like this one right here is a Peperomia Lime Pixie. I love that it's got that lime greenish tone about it. It's got a light green tone. And I just really like the fact that there's different varieties of green colors in all of the Costa Farms plants. You'll find something like this. And that's to really give Costa Farms that credit that they have really sourced out a lot of plants that may not necessarily have made it into the big box store or the general market. And, you know, a lot of people will say that if you shop big box stores, you're not necessarily supporting small businesses. I disagree. I do feel like if you are in an area where the only thing you can buy is plants from a big box store, then there's nothing wrong with that. I would say if you are in an area like the Dallas-Fort Worth area, I would say balance where you buy your plants. Go to big box stores if you want to get some plants that are cost effective, but also go to small box or small stores or small businesses and support them as well, because like I said, local businesses, whenever you choose to shop small, you are able to continue somebody's dream to do what they're passionate about. So there's always these venues for everybody. I don't think that you should really subject yourself to only buying at a big box store or a small box or a small business, if that makes any sense. I mean, and you can see here, Costa Farms has just recently released a lot of these Ficus elastica. This one is called the Shivriana, and they have a new self-watering planter. So I've noticed that Costa Farms has really upped their game when it comes to these planters. They are really trying to give that more modern vibe about it. But with the Ficus Shivriana, rewind about 5 years ago when a single one node cutting was about $200. I think it's because it was really uncommon, at least in the United States. And with the rise of, say, tissue culture, for instance, when it comes to Ficus Shivriana, it has really made it easier for everybody to get a hold of these plants. That one was for $15.98. And then, you know, I picked up that global green pothos. So that's the thing about going shopping, the fact that there are more plants available, just like this Hedera Helix, or what you call the Hedera Helix English Ivy. This one is the asterisk Ivy. I do like the shape of it. This one is for $20.84. And I really love the plant foldy community, because you guys are the ones who created the Hedera Helix Challenge 2025. So I guess to mention that in order to participate in the Hedera Helix Challenge, you want to make sure that you are going to a store and buying yourself an English Ivy, and then you're going to document the date you bought the plant, and then you're going to see how long you can grow a Hedera Helix, or what I call the Hedera Helix, and see how long it is before it actually ends up getting spider mites. The longer you are able to keep it, then you are able to maintain the Hedera Helix Challenge. I did also want to show you this beautiful Aglaonema right over here. Beautiful Aglaonema golden fluorite, and I hope that Costa Farms will release a lot of these Aglaonema. They have the capacity to do so, and I think, with Costa Farms, if they're able to actually create a new trend to differentiate themselves from all the other nurseries, I think it's going to give them one level up, because a lot of the big box stores are still getting the same plants, the same philodendron. So now you're seeing a lot more of the philodendron summer glories, for instance, and other philodendrons that were not as common from the main three providers of big box stores, but I feel like if Costa Farms can really invest and grow a lot of more of these colorful Aglaonema that nobody has ever seen, at least in the United States, I think people will have a little bit more clamor. I mean, just know that on the plant foldies community, the Grow Folds community, we're always going to talk about Aglaonema. We're always going to share our love for Aglaonema. And so hopefully Costa Farms will do that. And then I'm just going to go ahead and pick up some more Hydra Helix and show you what they have available at this Lowe's location. And plant foldies, yes, I am intentionally putting on the track, which is called the Sauce Beat. This is going to be the dance track for the plant foldy community. I will be doing a shorts video where I will show you some very simple dance steps, so that way the plant foldy community has a little dance step that we can do if we ever hang out. I love the fact that I was able to get some music sourced out specifically for our YouTube channel. Shout out to my friend Derek of DJBangBeats.com. Please make sure you go check out his website. He is based out in Katy, Texas, which is a suburb in Houston, Texas. And so I love supporting local artists, local businesses, small businesses, and even big box stores. I mean, it is all about supporting everybody and just keeping good vibes only. You already know if you are on this channel, it will always be good vibes only. We do not tolerate toxicity. We do not tolerate negative energy. We want to always just be up here to support and have a safe, positive space for anybody that loves plants. I mean, you can see right here, lots of gorgeous exotic angel plants by Costa Farms. This one is a spathiphyllum, and I'm actually thinking about eventually getting a spathiphyllum or a peace lily and growing it in straight hydroponics where they are just sitting in water. And then this is that Hydra Helix that I want to get for the Hydra Helix Challenge 2025. This one is a gold baby coined ivy, beautiful green on green variegation, and I just like the leaf shape of it. It reminds me of a Trident maple, and that's another thing I want y'all to know is I am also a maple collector, specifically Japanese maples, but I also love all different types of maples, or what you call the Acer genus. So as spring approaches, I'm going to start filming some of my outdoor garden, my Japanese maple collection. You will be able to get access to that if you are a Patreon member for Growfold. Also creating a YouTube membership. So if you are just finding this video, I have announced that I will be creating those more exclusive communities. Hopefully you will follow my journey on that as well. I feel like there's enough engagement, loyal engagement, where I can really launch something like that. And then for those that have just tuned into this video, please make sure you are pressing the thumbs up or like button for this video. It definitely pushes this content out to more plant lovers like yourself. If you like to see beautiful plants, if you like to see shopping videos, daily shopping videos, plant hauls, shopping hauls, definitely subscribe to my YouTube channel, but also help push this content out by pressing the thumbs up or like button. And then you can just see I'm picking up a lot of these hanging baskets by Costa Farms. Here is a PVC ivy or a Hydra Helix for $20.84. And so I'm just going to keep showing you guys some more of these plants. Leave in the comment section what you think of these plants. And if you've actually gone shopping for Costa Farms plants, let's give some love to Costa Farms in the comment section below as well. And you can see that I have just really walked around all of these shelves that have all of these plants. So we've got a combination of Costa Farms, mostly Costa Farms plant. Like this one right here is a golden pothos, $12.97 in a 6-inch planter right here. Please buy this plant. Please add yourself a pothos plant. Just like all my videos, I try to utilize this platform on YouTube and even on Instagram to really influence people into going to, or at least looking at plants that are a little bit more common, a little bit more readily available, but definitely cost effective, money saving, also budget friendly and easy care. Like this one right here, Syngonium Maria by Costa Farms again. This one is for $8.98. Love that dark foliage. It's got a chocolate color about it. And with the Syngonium Maria or any of these dark foliage plants, please provide it with more bright indirect light. You're really going to get some beautiful dark foliage if you do it that way. And you can just see that this is a tray of exotic angel plants. Costa Farms has really pushed out many new Costa Farms exotic angel plants. I'm curious to see though if Costa Farms will have something new in terms of the exotic angel line. I know that they have so many varieties. I'm actually curious, and if anybody from Costa Farms ever watches my plant shopping videos, I'm curious on the exact number of exotic angel plants that they have available or at least circulating in the market. That would be an interesting number for our plant foldy community to know. Because I have shown a lot of these exotic angels. Like if you go watch this video in its entirety, you know you're gonna find a Dracaena white jewel, you know you're gonna find a purple waffle plant, you know you're gonna see some type of Hydra Helix from Costa Farms, and you know you're going to see the same plants on my video that is going to premiere tomorrow, the following day, next week, next month. And I'm okay with that because I love just being able to take people to a plant shopping video like this. I mean, this is an English ivy. I am debating on whether to get, this is the California fan ivy. It's just a green plant. And let's talk about just green plants. Do you gravitate to green plants, or are you the person that may ignore them because you are so in love with variegated plants? I remember I was in a phase where literally if it wasn't variegated, I wasn't interested, but now I am kind of reverting back to going to the basics, going back to the plants that are what nature, Mother Nature really wanted, and that is green plants. There's not a lot of variegated plants in Mother Nature, and if there are, they may not even have the capacity to really survive long term because they would be surrounded by so many green plants. And you know, plants that have green are going to be more vigorous, are going to be faster growing as compared to a plant that has more variegation because there's less chlorophyll for it to photosynthesize. So I don't know. I just want to open that discussion out there for the plant foldy community. And that's the thing. If you are going to watch my videos, know that I utilize a lot of my plant shopping videos just to talk to y'all directly, just as more of like a thought drop right here where I am just giving you my insights. It's almost like a personal blog. Call it a lifestyle blog almost without my face in it. And yes, for those that are new to the channel, I do faceless YouTube. And, you know, it's not that I feel like I have to like justify that. I just want to make sure you guys understand that I have created a personal boundary with my social media presence, as well as what I want to put out there for the whole universe to see permanently, and what I choose to keep to myself. And that's one of them. It's just going faceless. You already know, plant foldies, if you meet me in person, I am a hoot. I love to dance. I love to do catwalks. I love to be my most authentic self. And I really just want to make sure everybody is having a good time. So hopefully everybody is having a good time just looking at plants, listening to me ramble away. Yes. And I don't even mind being like that. And yes, I know that some of you guys have probably said I am super repetitive. If you know me in person, yes, I am super repetitive. I am that type of person that is a creature of habit. I love to talk. I love to repeat myself because I think repetition, routines actually kind of create that point where, some of that will actually, you'll retain that information. I really want to make sure that everybody is learning about plant care, is learning about my intentions about what plants I want to put in my plant collection. So that's basically it. But also know that you can see a lot of these plants by Costa Farms. I mean, take a look at this. Beautiful Epipremnum aureum lemon meringue pothos, beautiful plant here. And I love that Costa Farms just continues to push out many different varieties of pothos. This year I have seen a lot of pothos, and you never know till the very end of this video what brand new pothos variety I will find at this location. Now, this one right here is another Aglaonema that I really want to know the plant ID for. Unfortunately, has some yellowing leaves. I wish they would just go ahead and clearance this out. If they were making this 50% off, I would totally buy it. I would totally rescue it. I would actually grow it to give to a plant foldy, because the hashtag popularized Aglaonema is really getting some traction on social media. Thank you to those that have actually posted pictures of their Aglaonema, have shared what Aglaonema that they have bought online, and have created reels. And even to Eric, thank you Eric, my plant foldy from Minnesota, for actually plugging and sharing this YouTube channel on the Aglaonema Facebook groups. I do encourage anybody that is part of Facebook groups to share my YouTube channel, to share our YouTube channel, so that way more people could be aware of our community. It's really fun to see that a lot of people are actually tuning in to the live premiere chats, and I love that I've been able to stay on top of actually uploading videos at least 24 hours in advance. And so if you see a video that is already scheduled, no, you can just jump in earlier, like even an hour earlier or even a day earlier. And if you want to find somebody to chat with about plants, you can consider that almost like an old school chat room, when chat rooms actually existed online. So utilize the premieres that are scheduled. You can actually jump on the live premiere chats way before it even premieres. So just wanted to let you guys know that. And take a look at this right here, Epipremnum pinnatum skeleton keys pothos. So I already bought one of these, but this is such a cool looking pothos, because as the leaves actually mature and climb up a totem pole or moss pole, it changes to where it looks like skeletons or like keys, like a key shape. So definitely consider getting this one. So Epipremnum pinnatums, especially this one, is a very fast grower. It grows like a weed. The only thing you have to take caution on is if you don't give it enough bright indirect light, it will shoot what you call runners, where it'll give you a vine, but there's not going to be any leaves on it. And you need to make sure you stay on top of the watering. So I'm going to walk over to this section right here and just pan over and keep picking up plants. Let me know in the comments section what you think, and let's go ahead and jam out to some of this music right that I'm going to put over as I pick up these plants. as you will notice, plant foldies, we've just got so many different types of plants that are at Lowe's. I will say this Lowe's could use just a little bit more organization on other plants, you know, and that's just me being a little bit critical. I mean, I love the fact that they still have quite a bit of plants, but I feel like if they organized it like some of the other Lowe's I've seen, they would be able to sell through a lot of these plants, because I feel like, and maybe you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like when something is super organized, it's a little bit more shoppable, it gives you a little bit more inspiration, and it definitely drives impulse buying because you're really inspired to pick up a plant. For instance, if you had all of the Dieffenbachia lined up, or all of the crotons lined up, or all of the live trends plants, the urban jungle plants, the Costa Farms plants organized, striped together, I just feel like you would end up buying more plants. Leave that in the comment section below, plant foldies, your thoughts on that. Like you've noticed in all of my videos the last week, I've really just been very intentional about asking for your insights, and for those, especially these super plant foldies that are really diehard fans of my plant shopping videos, thank you for putting in comments. Thank you, Kathy from Canada. If y'all don't know Kathy from Canada, you need to meet Kathy from Canada on the live premiere chats. Kathy is one of my most original plant foldies when I first started this YouTube channel. I did want to just shout out Kathy specifically today because Kathy, you are amazing. Just know that as a plant foldie, no matter what hardships you have, that you are one that will always be somebody that we highlight on this channel, because I love the fact that you have taken so much time to let me know about your plants, what plants you have found, share with the plant foldie community in the live chats, because I see Kathy always chatting with all of the live premiere chats, and eventually I'm gonna write down all of our plant foldies that literally are on the live chats every single day. I don't want to go on a list and miss anybody else, but I know with Kathy, she definitely is one that has been on almost all the live premiere chats. Same thing with Tree. Now Tree, my plant foldie from my original content, which is actually origami ASMR videos. And so the story of the reason why I call my YouTube channel Grow Fold, as in folding, the process of folding, is I used to make origami ASMR videos where I would fold origami paper cranes. My goal is to fold 1 million paper cranes in my entire lifetime. I have been folding paper cranes now for a good 8 years, going on 9 years, and you cannot just imagine how many origami paper cranes I have. But yeah, Tree has been there thick and thin. Also Leap PH, I am so thankful for you. Thank you, Leaf, for actually defending me in the comment section when somebody has really just put something that wasn't very kind in the comment section. Leaf is out there to actually defend me. And then just all of the other plant foldies, I will go on a list the next video, make sure that I write people's names down. Thank you for always tuning in. I did want to just take the time to do that because I know that these plant videos are pretty repetitive. You've seen these videos, you've seen these plants, you've seen these Costa Farms plants, but the dialogue, the conversation, the engagement, the love, the support is always there. And I will tell you, every time I am off work, every time 7 p.m. Central Standard United States time comes around, I look forward to that hour because then I can jump on the live premiere chats and really just talk to maybe people I have never met, maybe people I may never ever meet in person, but I just feel like this community has that bond where we support each other, and I think we need more of that. I think we need more love and support, kindness, celebration of these plants. I mean, just let me know, and let's celebrate the fact that I just picked up an Epipremnum aureum Mandula Pothos. Costa Farms, thank you. I actually ended up getting a Costa Farms mother plant of a Mandula Pothos from PlantCon 2025, and that is another example of how so many plant foldies came out to the actual reel and said that I needed to win the Mandula Pothos. It was like the good vibes manifesting that to where we all won the Mandula Pothos hanging basket. I'm going to show you guys that in my PlantCon 2025 plant haul. I know you guys are waiting for it, so definitely check that out. But let me go ahead and keep picking up some of these plants. You can see the majority of these plants are a lot of the Costa Farms plants. You can see right over here, Aglaonema Maria, $15.98. Add that green Aglaonema in your collection. It's a very durable plant. If you call yourself a plant foldie or somebody that is really loyal in watching my videos, please add the Aglaonema to your collection. Hashtag popularize Aglaonema. Low light tolerant, drought tolerant, cost effective, easy care, budget friendly. It's got all of the characteristics you want to have in a plant, and they even have the variegated forms. Like if you want something like really fancy, Aglaonemas, there's so many hybrid varieties. I will ask you guys to do a search for Greg Hambali Aglaonema hybrids, and you will see what I'm talking about. But let's go back to all of these plants. This is a beautiful home decor. This is also known as the Croton Mame, $8.98 by Costa Farms. And this year, I'm actually going to collect a little bit more of the Croton plants. Love the look of them, and I think that they would be amazing additions to my plant collection. Now that I've actually cleaned up a lot of my plants, I'm going to do a houseplant tour very soon. I may end up just adding the houseplant tour on Patreon, though, for the really diehard plant foldie community, the super plant foldies, as what I will call the tier. Let me know if you are excited about that, and let me know what you think of this Dracaena Florida beauty. And so if you want these new Costa Farms plants, or just Costa Farms plants in general, definitely go to Lowe's. You can see that they've got hanging baskets. They've got different sizes of plants. I mean, this beautiful Dieffenbachia, for instance, right there, really love the coloration of it. And the thing about Dieffenbachia plant foldies, if it was just more of an easy to care for plant, and the reason why I say easy to care for, if it was one of the plants that had a better, more conducive environment that our home's natural ambient environment would be, it would be like just less or more low light tolerant and drought tolerant. But unfortunately, Dieffenbachia need bright indirect light, higher humidity levels, and you need to really stay on top of the watering. All three characteristics, at least in my personal plant collection, is not the best. At least I'm not the best at the routines, and I'm okay letting you guys know that I am definitely not a plant expert. I definitely can be a little bit more neglectful when it comes to my plants. So that's the reason why I feel like this year a lot of the plant trends are going to be not necessarily going plant shopping, but more so downsizing plants, more so the plant styling, more so the curation of your particular plant collection. That's what I've been working on, but you know, I struggle with that because I really do love plants. I love buying plants. I love adding plants to my plant collection. I feel like I don't have enough plants because as you can see, even going through these big box stores, I'm picking up this Hydra Helix, for instance, and this Gold Baby Ivy. I've been wanting to get that, but then I also want to add all of the different varieties of ivies. So I'm just curious if you're also in that same boat where you just can't stop buying plants. Let me know in the comment section what your thoughts are. And you know, with Costa Farms, they just make it very challenging to not go out there and buy plants because they have so many varieties of plants to pick from. I mean, you can see right here, right next to that other Gold Baby Ivy is the Hydra Helix. Asterix ivy, beautiful ivy as well. And oh, I was gonna mention too, plant foldies, I might have some more merch created. I know I have a Grow Folds t-shirt that I was able to give out to a couple of my plant foldies that met out with me at PlantCon, but I might make a Hydra Helix shirt, so stay tuned for the design on that. And then as far as this right here, I wanted to highlight this particular Dracaena. This is called a Dracaena Limelight. Look at how neon colored this particular Dracaena is. And for $8.98, this Dracaena will eventually get larger and larger, and it will be a stunning neon yellowish color plant. Love that as well. Now with all neon plants, like I say all the time, please make sure that you're giving it lots of bright indirect light. And this is another plant I haven't really seen, and I wish the name tag or the plant ID was on this. Can somebody let me know what the plant ID is for this particular plant by Costa Farms? This one is for $20.84, and this is another plant that is really unique. And that's the thing about Costa Farms. You know, you'll see a lot of the philodendrons, you'll see a lot of those types of plants, but they also have all of these unique textured hanging basket plants. We'll see what that all looks like. So somebody please put the plant ID for it. And then you'll see right over here, we have some Dracaenas. So we've got two different types of Dracaena setups. We've got one that's in a self-watering plant, and then you can see that we have another one that's going to be in just a regular pot. I like the self-watering planter that Costa Farms has. This one is for $15.98. Dracaenas in a self-watering planter, you basically don't have to care for it because Dracaenas are so easy to care for. It's one that I believe I mention this all the time, it's just underrated. And I don't know if it's because people attribute the look of a Dracaena to an office. Just let me know in the comment section what you think. And then also right over here is for $12.98. This one is another Dracaena Lemon Surprise. I love the striping of it. I just also know that Dracaenas are also known as a dragon tree. I like the more compact versions of it. This one's not as compact. There are some other ones that are a little bit more compact. And if you really look at the mature forms of Dracaenas, they are stunning as well. And then I'm going to just keep picking up some more of these exotic angel plants. This one is another Rex Begonia. With the Rex Begonia, you have to not try to get the water, like the leaves or the stems wet, otherwise it'll rot off. So I would recommend just bottom watering them. And you can see this pink one right here. I'm really tempted to buy this one. Like I've gone down the begonia rabbit hole where I just wanted to collect every single begonia, but I'm not the best at growing them. And that's the thing about growing plants, going shopping for plants. You have to really know what level of plant care you're able to provide these plants, because you're going to end up just giving them to plant heaven if you don't have the right environment, whether it's the lighting conditions, the watering routines, the amount of time you have to get rid of pests. Because here's the thing. Somebody said that, do you know of anybody who has a plant collection that is pest free? I do not. And if they say they have absolutely no pests, then they may just not be catching the pests. It is natural for you to actually end up having pests in your plant collection because you're thinking about putting plants that are in an indoor space. And when they're in an indoor space, they don't have the natural pest preventatives, natural predators that will get rid of some of these pests. So eventually there will be something that gets in your plant collection. What I would recommend is just making sure you stay on top of your pest preventatives, whether it is spraying your plants with neem oil spray. I often spray my plants with neem oil spray. It is an organic alternative to using pesticides or chemicals. I feel a little bit more comfortable with that. And that's one way I would actually, that's one thing or a tip that I would actually recommend for our plant foldies. And then you can see right here, I did want to show you some of these succulents. So it's interesting how they have what they call the low light succulents right here. I love the planters. I love the look of these. Some of these are Haworthias, and they're beautiful plants. So if you want to grow a succulent in a low light setting, I didn't really believe it, but you can grow these in low light settings. I would say they're very similar to Sansevierias. Will they thrive? Not necessarily. Like all plants, they actually like light. They like bright indirect light. So please make sure you are mindful for that. And I'm just going to spin around here and keep walking around and showing you some more of the plants. Everybody loves an Aglaonema red Siam. I mean, take a look at this beautiful plant. Again, $15.98. And this has been here since Christmas. I already know that this plant, because it's in a red holiday planter, has been here for quite a while. I almost want to just rescue this plant because it's got some beautiful red veining and just red borders around it. With Aglaonema red Siam, sometimes they don't give you the full red. You just need to see about giving it more bright indirect light. I do believe that Aglaonema specifically are impacted by the amount of light you provide it. And you can see right here another Costa Farms classic Aglaonema red Siam, $15.98. I'm going to say that this is one of the official plant foldy mascots. This is going to be a plant that I would attribute to my Grow Folds YouTube plant channel, is the Aglaonema red Siam. I mean, look at the veining, look at the red borders. It is absolutely stunning. Please make sure that you are checking this out, because if you don't have an Aglaonema red Siam, go ahead and buy one. We do big box or plant shopping videos. I already know you might have a Lowe's in your location. Definitely add it. And then you can see right here we have an Aglaonema golden fluorite, also known as golden papaya. Beautiful plant as well. $20, it's at $19.84. Beautiful plant, and it's another one that if you give it a lot of bright indirect light, it's going to give you a lot of beautiful coloration. The only thing about Aglaonema is that they're extremely slow growers. That is the huge drawback for them, but otherwise they just need to be the trending plant. Let's make this popular. Let's popularize Aglaonema. Let's post on social media, use the hashtag popularize Aglaonema. Tag me at GrowFolds. Go on your Instagram post, go on Facebook groups, post your Aglaonema. Let's really celebrate the beauty of it, because I do believe that a lot of these plants end up becoming trending because a lot of people end up posting about it on social media. Isn't it crazy how social media kind of dictates the climate of a specific niche, a specific market? And so let's use it for a positive campaign to popularize Aglaonema. And then as far as all the other plants right over here, I'm going to keep looking at these plants and check this out. So I wasn't really under the radar of looking for a plant, but look at this very discreet plant in the comment, like right over here. Look at this. This is an Aglaonema. This is a pothos plant. Green Jula pothos, but I know that I found a green Jula pothos, but look at the veining of this particular pothos. So a couple of things I wanted to talk about. Number one, this is a pothos I wasn't intending on buying because I already have a green Jula pothos, but for $16.98, look at the I guess just the veining of this particular leaf, the way it looks, it's definitely unique. It's definitely got that mandula leaf shape. It's very large, it's very heart-shaped leaf, but it's got like the variegation of a Yesenia pothos. So I'm gonna go ahead and buy this. I'm gonna see if I can stabilize this variegation, if this is really what Costa Farms meant when they called this the green Jula pothos. I really love that. So I'm gonna say that this is another rare or uncommon pothos plant that Costa Farms has released, and I'm thankful for it. So this one, I mean, take a look at this right here. I'm just going to keep showing you what that looks like. Now that I have shown y'all that gorgeous Grindula pothos, I'm just going to spin around here and keep showing you some more of these plants. So you can see right here, $15.98, Aglaonema Maria. Aglaonema Maria has to be in your plant collection. Plant foldies, like, why do you not have these Aglaonema in your collection? Like, basically every single Aglaonema variety I've shown y'all in my plant shopping videos, we should have already bought it like 6 months ago, because I have been talking about Aglaonema for that long. Can you tell that I'm probably the biggest Aglaonema lover in the entire universe? And I'm okay with that. I want to go ahead and take the Aglaonema crown and crown myself, because nobody else is talking about Aglaonemas as much as I do. I mean, I talk about Aglaonemas all day, every single day. Anybody that I run into in terms of plants, I want to be all about Aglaonema. And I am thankful that I have friends that have that same passion. If you haven't followed Janae Simone on at Janae Simone's YouTube channel, she has a bunch of Aglaonema. We also have Steven of I Live Plants. Definitely follow his YouTube channel, because he also loves Aglaonema. All three of us, when you combine all the three of us, we become what they call Cultivation Corner, a plant podcast show on YouTube. I've noticed that we don't have as many of the plant foldies or anybody that watches this channel nearly on the plant podcast. I really hope you guys will tune in to the Cultivation Corner plant podcast YouTube show, so you don't have to listen to it just like a podcast. It is an actual show. You will see all of us on camera, maybe not my face, but please go ahead and search Cultivation Corner on YouTube, subscribe to the channel with all the notification bell on, comment in our videos, say you are a plant foldie. Let's get everybody out there, and let's get everybody excited about this Philodendron Birkin. Beautiful white veining, and then also this Epipremnum alplissimum silver streak pothos for $15.98. Really love the look of this plant. It's another plant that's really easy care for as well. It's got more of a narrow leaf shape. Glad that Costa Farms has been able to get us that. And I'm just going to keep picking up plants. As you can tell, during this shopping trip, I really spent a little bit of time really just panning over the plants. I know that was a little bit of constructive critiques that I was listening to. So I definitely want to listen to some of your critiques about just allowing the plants to be picked up and just looking at them versus me talking through the entire video. So I am listening to some feedback, although I will probably just do what I want to do sometimes. That's just me, but let's go ahead and just keep looking at these gorgeous plants right here. And here is hidden away is a beautiful Syngonium rayi. This is another velvety texture Syngonium, one that is really not common to be found, especially at a big box store. I remember finding this hanging basket of Syngonium rayi, and I was so happy I found it. This is a little bit more of a challenging Syngonium to grow though, because it does like more humidity as well as staying on top of the watering. But again, $16.98. That is an uncommon, maybe even rarer Syngonium you can find at a big box. And I did want to highlight this. I was also tempted to buy this hanging basket, and the reason being is look at how beautiful that red tone is. Look at how perfect this plant has grown, how lush and full this plant has been before Costa Farms released it out into the wild, out into a big box store. I hope somebody will end up buying this plant, because for $16.98, that is an extremely cost-effective, budget-friendly, finance-friendly price. Let's just put it that way. If you're going to go shopping, especially at a big box store for houseplants, this is the houseplant you probably need to go ahead and buy. This is a Photonia. It's got some beautiful red veining. It looks like it would be one that you should add to your plant collection. It's a very beautiful plant. Really love that red tone about it. And as I continue to just walk around and show you this video, here are a couple of things I wanted to just sum up. As spring 2025 comes around, be excited about going plant shopping. Look for those Costa Farms plants at big box stores. Look for the Live Trends plants. Look for the Urban Jungle plants. If big box stores are the only place that you can buy, let me know in the comment section what your plant finds are, your plant hauls are whenever you go plant shopping. And then if you are able to support smaller businesses, small shops, plant nurseries, that nature, please also share your plant finds there. But as you can see at this location, it's super full. But this is an example of, maybe being a little bit more meticulous about how you style or merchandise your plants. I just feel like they could have some more merchandising here and just a little bit more upkeep. But at the end of the day, I'm still thankful that Lowe's consistently has a lot of these Costa Farms plants and plant foldies. I ended up buying the green Julep Pothos by Costa Farms. I already have one, but it doesn't have like that beautiful veining that this one has. So I definitely want to make sure that I give it quite a bit of bright indirect light. Super windy day. I couldn't believe that we actually had tornado watches here. Hopefully everybody was safe from the tornadoes in DFW. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure you press the thumbs up or like button for this video. If you haven't already, it definitely helps push this content out to more plant lovers like yourself. You already know I want to see the plant foldy community grow, as well as subscribing to my YouTube channel at Grow Fold with all the notification bell on. This is Richie. I will see you with a brand new video tomorrow. Maybe it will be a PlantCon video. We'll see what that looks like. I'll see you then. Bye-bye. Good day, my plant foldies. This is Richie at Grow Folds, and today we'll be big box store plant shopping at Lowe's out in North McKinney, Texas. It is a beautiful late afternoon, although all of the light is still here. As always, please make sure you are hitting the thumbs up or like button for this video. Press the thumbs up or like button for this video. It definitely helps push this content out to more plant lovers like yourself. Hoping that we can get to 13,000 Plantfoldy subscribers for this YouTube channel. And for those that are new to the channel, I call my viewers and subscribers Plantfoldies. Welcome. My name is Richie. I do daily 1-hour plant shopping videos. And if you haven't already, please make sure you are following me on Instagram at GrowFolds. That is the most fastest and direct way to get in touch with me if you have any questions about the plants that I'm featuring. But as you can see right here, I am in North McKinney, Texas. This is a Lowe's I typically go whenever I'm up in this area. And we are going to take a look at what plants they have. It is spring 2025, or at least it will be in the next couple of days. So hopefully we can find some good plants. But before we get into that, I will show you this new soil that I've gotten into. It is called Classy Rabbit. So definitely check out classyrabbit.com. But I will give you a little bit more information before we go into the main event. Plantfoldies, have you ever heard of this new soil called Classy Rabbit, which is from a local small business out in McKinney, Texas? Really excited to share with you this new soil, which is 100% organic. What I love about it is that this is a standalone type soil. You don't have to mix orchid bark or other amendatives that actually make this soil chunky. It is already chunky, light, and fast draining. You can use it to improve your existing soil. What I also like about it is they are made by farmers, so they don't really consult like soil scientists or whatever that means. They really know what Mother Nature has in the soil. And what I like about it is I've been able to pot up a lot of my plants from overseas, and they have really acclimated to this soil. I love the fact that, again, it is 100% organic, and the ingredients that we have would be rabbit manure, composed food waste, pine bark chips, mycorrhizae, dried molasses, pumice, and expanded shale, rice hulls, and yucca extract. So all of those ingredients really make this soil. It is balanced, and what I love about it is Classy Rabbit products are simple where it counts, smart where they matter. So that means all of the ingredients that the soil needs, it's right there. They don't need to add anything else, and they don't offer anything that they don't need. I also love the fact that Classy Rabbit is priced well, where it's a happy medium between the low prices of cheap, and when I say cheap, quality, and the high prices of unnecessary ingredients. It kind of balances it both. And if you see right here, I potted this Aglaonema up in a terracotta planter. You can see how fast draining it is as I put a bunch of water into the soil. You can see that it is literally just draining through. But just because it's fast draining, it doesn't mean that it doesn't retain moisture. It definitely does. But I love the fact that I don't have to worry about adding any perlite, because this particular soil doesn't have perlite. It has all natural ingredients. So for those that have never heard about Classy Rabbit, please go to classyrabbit.com. I highly endorse this soil. I love it so much. And even though I've been doing semi-hydroponic substrates like Lechuza Pon and Leca, I've actually been converting all of my plants back to soil because of this particular soil. They do offer free shipping at classyrabbit.com. Let me know in the comment section if you're interested, and hopefully you will support Classy Rabbit. I mean, have you pooped on your plants lately? I would. So with spring just being about 2 days away since this video actually premiered, I will be featuring a lot of the outdoor garden plants as well as the vegetable herb sections of these big box stores. So you can see right over here, we've got a bunch of citrus type plants. Now I am looking for what they call the calamansi tree, which is basically the Philippine lime. I'm hoping that I can find one of those and grow those for my collection. But as you can see right over here, we've got some Bonnie vegetables right here, different types of herbs. I am currently growing some tomatoes, some bell peppers. I'm hoping to grow some okra, and I will be growing some more of these tomatoes as well. You can see right here, we've got a Mr. Stripey tomato, which is an heirloom tomato. Really love the variegation of that. And, you know, as far as fresh vegetables, that's something that I love to grow year after year. It's not something I featured on my plant shopping YouTube channel, but that will be something I will eventually insert as extra content. I have talked about the Patreon page. So if you want to go join my Patreon page, I will be launching that very soon. It'll feature a lot more of my personal houseplant collection, but more so my outdoor garden and just all of my personal plants. So we'll take a look at that. But before we go into the rest of the plant shopping video, I did want to just call out Cultivation Corner Plant Podcast. Please join me with Janae Simone and Stephen of I Live Plants, 7:30 p.m. Central Standard U.S. time every Tuesday. We have a new episode. We've been working super hard on it, and I'm hoping that you guys can join us because it is close to an hour discussion about plant-related topics. We are on season 2, and so if you haven't already, do a search for Cultivation Corner and please subscribe with all the notification bell on. I would really appreciate that support.
Hey, y'all see the shirts that we're rocking? I mean, isn't this fly? This is fly. See, this could be in your closet. You know what I'm saying? We are selling these limited edition Cultivation Corner sweatshirts right now.
Season 2?
That's right.
Season 2.
Season 2. Listen. If you want one, you better get up on it because, like I said, they're limited. So
send us a DM in the Cultivation Corner Instagram so we can go ahead and get that custom sizing.
That's right.
You could be like us.
That's right. You don't want FOMO on this one, you guys. You need this is what couture.
Cultivation couture.
Cultivation couture.
And
Plant foldies, now you can see that we're walking into the outdoor garden section. I just wanted to do a little quick loop around, and if you made it this far, please don't click away. I will definitely get to all of the indoor tropical plants. I know that I've shown you guys a couple of little commercials and little blurbs, but as far as the main event, we will be getting to the indoor tropical section. But as you already know, I also love plants that are for outdoor gardening, and it's one of those things where I feel like I do have an eclectic taste when it comes to plants or just things in general that I'm interested in. So a little tidbit about me, the reason why I call this YouTube channel the Grow Folds channel is because the grow is definitely part of the vegetable, indoor, tropical, whatever you want to call it, plants content. And then the folds, Folds, is in reference to origami. So I love the art of folding paper into different types of shapes. That is a traditional Japanese art, and I love origami. I feel like it's very therapeutic, and I have a goal of folding 1 million origami paper cranes in my lifetime. I've been doing it for about 8 years straight. So in addition to my big box store plant shopping videos, my plant content, my 10-hour job that I do, I also fold origami paper cranes daily. So, you know, some people will say, well, Richie, when do you sleep? Where and when do you sleep? Well, I can sleep anywhere, but as far as sleeping, I still get some, decent amount of time to sleep. I just try to maximize my time in trying to balance a lot of that out. So, little tidbit about me is I do love origami. I feel like that is a good hobby to get into. It definitely helps you practice mindfulness, which I feel like everybody needs to practice with this day and age where we're always on the go. But as far as all of the plants here, I will be showing you all of these different types of annuals and tropical plants. So you can see right here, we've got an African violet and not an African violet. You see, I'm thinking about African violets. That is actually an African marigold, which means that the blooms are a lot larger than the typical French marigolds. And then right over here, plant foldies, we've got some succulent and cactus. So this is some type of euphorbia. And I just find that, the more you learn about plants, or at least for me, the more I learn about plants, the more I get into them, because number one, I know more so the plant care tips. And then number two, you just learn I don't know, just things about them that you may have not thought about, which makes them a little bit more interesting. But if you're ever looking for some landscape type succulents and cactus, I would highly recommend going to Lowe. So, you know, Lowe's is a good place to go shopping for plants in general, whether it is indoor tropical plants from Costa Farms, plants, urban jungle, or live trends, or if you want outdoor gardening plants. So you can look for like Encore azaleas or Monrova gardening plants. So I'm just going to walk around here and just continue to show you the different types of plants. We did have somebody change their mind on this really cool but mostly red Croton Petra right here. I believe this one is only for $19.98 or somewhere around that range. I really like the look of that plant. It looks like that plant is on fire. And let's keep walking around here, and we're looking at some Acer palmatum, or what you call Japanese maple. So that's another thing that I am also into, is collecting maple trees, more so just Japanese maples, trident maples. I have a couple of different types of cultivars. I'm hoping to visit Metro Maples, which is a local nursery out in Fort Worth, Texas, that specializes in maple trees, specifically Japanese maples. So Scott Hubble owns that place, and that will be a place that I will hopefully visit next week. We'll see what that looks like. They also have Satsuki azaleas, which are Japanese azaleas, and we'll see what all of that looks like when I do visit it. But my Japanese maples are actually waking up in my backyard. I actually have a beautiful variegated peach tree blossom called a peppermint peach tree. So I can't really grow Japanese cherry blossom trees in North Dallas. I feel like it's just too hot. But if you want something blooming, if you want something that mimics Japanese cherry blossoms in the spring, you can always grow blooming shrubs and blooming trees like peach trees. So you can see right over here, this is a blooming tree that is some type of magnolia tree. And then you can see there's different types of fruit trees, but the ones I wanted to show you would be the peach trees. So they've got the upright peach trees here, and these are only for $37. And then they also have what you call the bonfire peach tree, which is one that stays dwarf. I actually have one growing in my front yard, but $37.98 is not a bad price at all for these beautiful blooming plants. You can see they do look like Japanese cherry blossom trees that signify spring. And if you have cooler temperatures, they tend to hold on to the blooms a little bit more so. Otherwise, when the temperature starts to warm up, I noticed that these peach trees start to push out more of their leaves. This one has dark maroon foliage, which I really like. So the bonfire peach tree, really nice to see that this one is actually available at a big box store. And I happened to get one from Home Depot a couple years back, $37.98. I'm actually tempted to buy another one. This is a fast growing tree, so if you want something that's blooming every spring, get yourself a peach tree. So I'll just keep walking and showing you all the rest of the outdoor garden plants. Spring is almost here, just 2 days away. In the comment section, plant foldies, let me know what plants you are going to be growing outdoors. If you are starting a vegetable garden or an herb garden, I'd love to hear your insights in the comment section. will notice, plant foldies, that every single Lowe's, at least in the North Dallas area, which is where I'm based at, is really getting super full, which makes it exciting to go out and make some content for big box or plant shopping. I know that some of you guys will run into some of my longer compilations slash marathons of me shopping, so definitely shop with me. But now that I have a little bit more time on my hands, a little bit more light working in my favor, because I know last fall and actually in the winter time, you know, the sun would actually go down around like 5 o'clock, and I really want to give you guys really good lighting whenever I go big box store plant shopping. You can see right over here too, this one right here is another plant that I am actually interested in possibly growing indoors. Let me know in the comment section what you think of this particular plant right here for $7.98. Really like the look of the variegation of this plant. You can see that the edges are really nice right over here. This is a beautiful hosta plant, and as far as hostas, they are considered perennials. So if you're into gardening, if you, depending on your grow zone, so mine is grow zone I think 8B, do your research to see if a plant will actually be a perennial plant in your grow zone. Basically, a perennial plant is if you plant it in your grow zone and it is considered a perennial plant, it will grow back year after year. So it'll die back, but then come back year after year. Perennials are what you call an infinity plant. It is a plant that once you plant it in the ground, it will come back year after year, which is what I like, because when you think about plants that are going to be cost effective, it's going to fit your budget, it's going to save you money, perennial plants in a garden space is definitely one you want to get into. And this is one that I like. Look at how beautiful the foliage is. It's got that green on green variegation with the texture of like lining on that plant. I love that it's got rounder leaves, and it almost reminds me of like large leaves of like a global green pothos. Let me know in the comment section if you agree with me, but it's got a beautiful coloration on it. I am curious if somebody's ever tried to grow hostas indoors. If you have, let me know in the comment section. I might do research on it, because I'm also thinking about plants that are typically grown outdoors but can be grown indoors. So a couple of plants to mention would be oxalis or shamrock plants. Also these plants right here, the hostas, some people say that you could possibly grow it indoors, so I'm really curious about that. And then obviously Coleus plants. So you'll hear a lot about Coleus plants on my plant shopping channel, because I had a full-blown obsession when it came down to Coleus plants. So we'll see what that all looks like. Very interested to show you the colorful blooms, but you can see right over here, I'm just going to keep walking around and showing you more perennial plants. $8.48 by Monrova Plants. So Monrova is another leading garden, outdoor garden plant provider for big box stores like Lowe's and Coleus lilies. What a beautiful plant. Let's just keep walking around here and seeing what they have. And when you talk about a cute fuzzy plant, take a look at this lamb's ear plant right here. If you touch it, it really feels very fuzzy. It feels like, some sheets that you could just drape on yourself, and it's super comfortable. What a beautiful and interesting texture on the plant. And that's why I like to take you guys out into the outdoor garden section. I know some of you guys might be into the aeroids. Some of you guys may have subscribed to my YouTube channel because you found my PlantCon 2025 Orlando videos. Hopefully I can get you guys sold on looking at outdoor garden plants, as well as the common easy care plants that are budget friendly. I know that PlantCon had a lot of these rare variegated plants, and I am a fan of that as well. But you already know that when it comes down to it, I love going back to the basics. I love going back to the plants that are going to save me a little bit more money because they are budget friendly and they're easy to care for. So we'll definitely look at that but we're almost done looking at the outdoor section here. You can see that we've got the purple oxalis plant, or the shamrock plant. What a beautiful plant this is. And you know what I like about this plant is you can grow these indoors. These are for $6.98, and I love the fact that when there is no more light, the leaves fold up and curl up. So it's just an interesting plant. It does a lot of movement depending on where the light source is. So it looks like it's a dancing plant. Really nice plant. And I remember Sydney Plant Guy had a very iconic looking one on his YouTube channel. And then we're gonna just walk around here again, and I'll show you what other plants they have for the outdoor section. I am just really curious to see, again, plant foldies, what plants you are adding into your collection in terms of the outdoor garden section, or are you more so into just indoor tropical plants? Let me know in the comment section below. And again, if you haven't made it, if you made it this far, if you made it this far into the plant shopping video, please make sure you are pressing the thumbs up or like button for this video. It's just that it'll help me grow this YouTube channel out more. So I do notice though, and I'm just gonna call you guys out, if you do click on one of my videos that might be a rerun or a compilation video, I would hope that you guys would still press the thumbs up or like button for this video. It definitely helps push this content out to more plant lovers like yourself. You know, there are some days where I either want to take a break from trying to edit a video. I mean, on average, these videos will take me a good 3 to 4 to 5 hours to produce. And when you're doing that daily, and you're trying to juggle the rest of your life, sometimes I don't have the time to actually get a video up. So I will combine 2 videos and basically do a video rerun. I will say there are less folks pressing the thumbs up or like button. Go ahead and press the thumbs up or like button. What is hurting you from doing that, or what is stopping you from doing that? All I know is this: it helps this channel grow so much. And if you already liked it the first time, you might as well hit it and like it the second time on a plant shopping video compilation. So hopefully you guys will do that and heed my call. I would really appreciate it. $4.94. We've got a Hydra Helix. This is a Hedera Helix, or what you call the English ivy. You'll notice that the English ivy actually has many different types of varieties of faces. This one is just a green variety, and they're actually pretty hardy when you take them outside and grow them in a container or some type of patio arrangement. Now, if you grow them on the ground in your landscape, they will take over your landscape. So do not do that unless you are prepared for that English ivy to be very invasive. And then over here for $13.98, we've got a bunch of French marigolds. And marigolds are my first flowering plant I've ever grown when I believe I was like a child, elementary school, somewhere of that range. I remember buying a Happy Meal from McDonald's, and they had a greenhouse as a free toy with marigold seeds. And I remember I was able to, actually grow them from seeds and actually get my first marigolds that way. So that was my first experience actually growing plants from seed. They were marigolds. So marigolds have a special place in my heart. They are plants that I would love to grow though, because I would love to make marigold tea, where you just take the petals of marigolds, dry them, and then steep them like regular tea. And that's the thing I love, loose leaf Japanese green tea. I'm not really a big fan of like tea bags, but when it comes to brewing loose leaf teas, I am all about it. I am looking for a really good organic source of what you call gyokoro green tea. So if you know of any places that I can get that Japanese tea, high quality ones, leave that in the comment section below. But right now I am just going to pick up a couple more plants and show you these begonias, and I believe Coleus plants are up next. have now reached these orange coral type Coleus plants. These are for $1.98. $1.98 is what you would pay for this beautiful plant. And Coleus plants, people will consider these as like patio outdoor garden plants, some that you would actually put in your landscape in a shaded area. You can grow these plants indoors, and really all plants can be grown indoors. It just really depends on the lighting conditions and the amount of time you can invest in growing the plants, as far as like actually watering them, preparing them from getting pests, like actually like pest preventatives. All of that is actually factored in on whether you can grow a plant indoors. Now with Coleus plants, I don't really see a lot of pests for them, maybe spider mites or mealy bugs, but growing them indoors is really not that difficult. And the only thing I would say is Coleus plants are very thirsty plants, so you have to make sure that you are watering them consistently. And then you can see right over here, we've got the polka dot plants. These are for $1.98. They're considered annual garden plants, so you can actually plant them in your garden. You can see they've got a different variety of different types of colors, whites, pinks, and reds. What a beautiful plant. I wish I could grow this plant indoors long term, but for some reason, if I overwater them, they crisp up. If they get underwatered, they crisp up. If they don't get enough, like I guess humidity, they don't do well. If they don't get the perfect amount of bright indirect light, they don't do well. So I know that I've been talking slightly negative about that plant, but that's really what happens. And then you can see we are now in the indoor tropical section. So hopefully you haven't clicked away, you haven't stopped watching this video, because now we're on the main event, which is to look at all of these indoor houseplant, tropical plants, all of these Costa Farms plants. We're going to see what we have here. And you'll notice, plant foldies, that this particular Lowe's location has quite a bit of indoor tropical house plants. We're going to take a look at some of these container plants right over here with some Phalaenopsis orchids. This one also has a Dracaena lemon surprise. So they've got these combination planters. Let's take a look at the price here. This is for $27.98. So this plant is actually grown in sphagnum moss. So you've got a Phalaenopsis orchid as well as a Dracaena. That's a nice combination. And then we've also got some Dendrobium orchids and more Phalaenopsis orchids here. This one has a beautiful Peperomia Ginny. That's one of my favorite peperomias. It really has more of a succulent type texture on the leaves, but look at these blooms as well. You'll notice that Lowe's has quite a bit of Phalaenopsis orchids, but also has many different types of orchids. So that they got Calathea orchids, Dendrobium orchids, Vando orchids, and some other different types of exotic type orchids. And you know, as far as a big box store or a retailer, I will dub Lowe's as probably having the most diverse section when it comes to orchid plants. So if you're looking for those types of orchids, definitely go shopping at Lowe's. And then obviously you can't go to Lowe's without finding Costa Farms plants. So $15, and actually no, this is a Costa Farms trending tropical plant for $19.84 in a self-watering planter. And then we are also looking at some Aglaonema red Siam, and I mentioned this in every single video of mine, every single plant shopping video. Costa Farms has Aglaonema red Siams. Aglaonemas are my favorite plant to grow because they are easy to care for plants, low light tolerant, drought tolerant, underrated, overlooked, all of the adjectives that I go after, because you know what? I like to go after the underdog. I like to be that one person that is all about going for the person that's not necessarily popular but has a lot to offer. That is the Aglaonema. So, a little story time. When it came down to going to PlantCon, which is a huge plant show, obviously, whenever somebody would ask me what my favorite plant is or what plant I'm looking for, and I didn't mention a variegated monstera or some type of philodendron or Hoya, and I mentioned Aglaonema, there was always this facial expression of bewilderment, confusion, and I'm like, no, Aglaonemas. I love Aglaonemas. And the thing about it is, social media is a very powerful platform, and I want to utilize this platform to really get everybody excited about Aglaonemas. I mean, why would you not? And I say this in all my videos, and I'm pretty sure some people are tired of it. Some people may have even unsubscribed to my YouTube channel because I am so gung-ho about Aglaonema and just being repetitive. But you know what? Like I said before, it is all about being your most authentic self and not really changing who you are because you want to please others. I just really think that you guys should get into Aglaonemas. Let me know in the comment section if you have actually bought an Aglaonema Red Siam. I do consider that as one of my mascots when it comes to representing the Grow Folds Plant Foldy community, because again, it is all about driving that positivity, having a safe space, but also cheering for the underdog. I mean, who doesn't want the underdog to win? I feel like Aglaonemas have gotten a lot of traction. So if you have Aglaonema, post a picture of Aglaonema on your Instagram or any of your social media platforms like Facebook. Tag me at GrowFolds and use the hashtag PlantFoldies. Use the hashtag popularize Aglaonema, and we'll see if we can connect more people who love that plant. But to go back to all of the other plants here, you can see that Costa Farms has released a bunch of these Dieffenbachias. Now, I believe this is what you call the Dieffenbachia Sublime. Beautiful plant here. You can see that it's got some beautiful variegation. It's got that green and then light green tone. There is a very high contrast with the leaves. Now, Dieffenbachia grow similar to Aglaonema in their growth habits. They clump up. They shoot little baby pups that you can separate from the mother plant. The only difference is Dieffenbachia need to be in bright light. They need quite a bit of light. They're a little bit more of a spider mite magnet, so you have to stay on top of the pest preventatives. I would say you need to go ahead and spray this down with neem oil or a pest preventative consistently. And then as far as an easy to care for plant, so Costa Farms also has released a crop of more of these Dracaenas. This is another Dracaena right over here for $19.98. And I love that green on green stripe. Beautiful plant, low light tolerant plant, easy to care for plant. And I keep repeating myself, but I have to have everybody excited about easy to care for basic plants. The thing about it is, just because a plant is considered basic, it doesn't mean that it's not interesting. It doesn't mean that it doesn't deserve to be part of a plant collection. All I mean when I call it a basic plant is it has basic care needs. And with life being so complicated, with things just being sometimes out of our hands in terms of like our time management, I think going basic in terms of going for plants that require basic needs, you need to go for that. You need to go for plants that aren't going to take up a lot of your time, are not going to give you a lot of stress. So that's what I mean when I talk about basic plants during my plant shopping videos. And I did want to just say thank you to all of the plant foldies again, those that have really consistently stayed on the live premiere chats, those that invest and show kindness for a content creator like myself who want to listen to what I want to talk about. Whether it's a bunch of the plants that I'm talking about, whether it's my daily life, whether it's just all of my insights. I utilize this YouTube channel again as more of a personal lifestyle blog as well, where I'm just telling you my thoughts. So if you want company, if you want somebody to talk your ear off, if you just want to hear me talk, this is definitely the YouTube channel for you. But I did want to say thank you to all of the plant foldies. You guys are amazing, and I hope that we continue to grow this channel, grow this community where we can interact with each other. The reason why I try to do daily 1-hour plant shopping videos is because there is that live premiere chat where we can all just gather along at 7 p.m. Central Standard United States time and chat. I look forward to doing that, and there's not a lot of YouTube channels that offer that chat feature. And you know, for me, it's a sense of community. It's a sense of pride for me to be able to give you that consistent content. So like I said again, the only thing I ask for all of our plant foldies as I do these plant shopping videos is definitely press the thumbs up or like button for this video. I always wonder, and I'm always very blunt, I'm very transparent. It's like whenever I put a compilation video or maybe a rerun and people are not as engaged in pressing the thumbs up button, well, if you press the like button the first time you saw it, you might as well hit the like button again. I joke, like, you don't necessarily have to do that, but I always wonder about people's behaviors and just their the way they go about things. And I'm the type of person where sometimes I'm an overthinker, sometimes I just wonder and allow my brain to just go off the deep end in terms of just overthinking. And I think that when it comes down to it, I don't think that we should overthink. It is a little bit harder to not overthink sometimes. I don't know. Let me know in the comment section, plant foldies, if you are an overthinker, what you do to ground yourself, because just as much as I love to do plant shopping videos and show you all of these beautiful plants, I also want to touch base on subjects such as mental health and wellness. I think those are subjects that I think a lot of us may not always talk about openly, but it's something that I definitely want to be transparent about. And, somebody had asked me the other day why I do daily 1 hour plant shopping videos. And I really want to highlight 1 hour. Some people are like, Richie, you could benefit from doing shorter videos. Honestly, I like to do longer format content for a couple of reasons. Number one, with the day and age where everybody's attention spans stay within a 5-second reel or a TikTok video, I just feel like even the younger generation tends to just not have that attention span. I am part of the I guess more older generation. I am an 80s baby. I will be turning 43 this year. And my thing about it is I like that longer format. I like watching movies. I like watching things that take more of my time because it allows me to digest the content versus having a blink of an eye and then there's another type of entertainment stimulation when it comes to like a 5-second video. So that's number one, the reason why I do specifically 1 hour shopping videos. And then number two, I like to do 1 hour shopping videos because it helps me with my routines. And when I say my routines, I find so much therapy going to a big box store and literally taking my phone, picking up plants and just filming it, because it allows me to have mindfulness. It allows me to practice that presence where I'm focused on a specific subject, a specific task, and everything else gets thrown out the window. I think that is really important for me personally. It's a really good way for me to practice mindfulness and also just to work on, ensuring that I have healthy mental health. And that's the reason why I do the plant shopping videos, and hopefully that resonates for those that you guys actually find value in me telling you my intent as to why I do that. Now, granted, I may do a 30-minute shorter video, but in terms of just doing reels and shorts videos, that's really not my audience, and that's really not my niche. I do have an Instagram account where I do like, at the most 1 minute shorts videos, but I know the majority of you guys aren't even on Instagram. I wish you would create an Instagram account, honestly, because I tend to post a lot more updates on that. But you guys will be tuning into my Patreon page, or at least I'm hoping that you guys will. And that's where I will really do a lot of the majority of my my updates for my plants. But to go back to the plants, you can see I have featured a lot of these Vanda orchids. And the Vanda orchids, when you compare them to like the Phalaenopsis orchids or other types of orchids, these are orchids that really need a lot of light. They're beautiful plants. Are considered epiphytes. So if you'll notice, they don't even have to be in an orchid bark substrate. You can literally just let them hang, let their aerial roots capture the moisture from the actual atmosphere, and that's really how they water themselves. Now, in terms of watering, I would suggest just soaking the aerial roots in water for a couple of minutes and then pulling it out and letting it just dry. You never really want to let the orchid bark, or actually the Vanda orchid's roots sit in any type of water, because it's quickly could root rot. So that's what I would suggest. And did you see that that's 20% off on the the planters. So here is another thing I would say about saving money while shopping at a big box store retailer like Lowe's, Home Depot, Walmart, or Target. Download their apps. And the reason why I say that is they have a lot of loyalty programs. So like Lowe's has what they call My Rewards, where when you scan their barcode, you rack up a lot of points and eventually you end up getting coupons. I think that that's another way of saving money whenever you're shopping for plants. Let me know in the comment section, Plant Foldies, if you actually have apps on your phones for some of these retailers. I recently got, the Lowe's app. I definitely have the Target app, the Walmart app, and the Home Depot app because it helps me look for items in stores. And I can also compare and contrast pricing. It holds your receipts. So for instance, if you buy a plant from Lowe's and you are not truly satisfied with them, you can return the plant as long as you hold on to your receipts. But these store apps also hold the receipts, which I really think is really convenient. So let's just continue to look at some of these plants. You can see right here, we've got a lot of beautiful blooming plants, blooming anthuriums and bromeliads right over here. Now we're looking at some of these Costa Farms plants. So we have trending tropical plants, exotic angel plants, these self-watering planters, and then you can see over here again, I wanted to show you these Costa Farms blooming anthuriums. This is just a classic red anthurium. And when you talk about anthuriums, we already know that most people will not attribute this blooming anthurium is one that people collect, but I find it beautiful. It is a very consistent plant. It's an easy to care for plant. It's a plant that when somebody says, Richie, do you have anthuriums? Yeah, I've got a ton of anthuriums. And then I show a picture of my blooming anthuriums and they're like, no, we're talking about like anthurium, Doc Block, Michelle, or those different types of anthuriums. But you know what? It is still an anthurium and I'm still going to root for that particular plant. Same thing with the Pearls in Jade Pothos right over here. Beautiful plant, $16.98. And I've noticed that Costa Farms is releasing a lot of these hanging baskets again. What you'll notice about Costa Farms is that they will release a lot of the different types of plants, but in sections. So for instance, if you see a bunch of Aglaonema of a certain sort, they will reach to the big box stores. You'll see that they'll have certain hanging baskets. I remember about 3 weeks ago, they had a bunch of Snow Queen Pothos, and the reason why I call them Snow Queen Pothos is because they were highly variegated. They were definitely not like a Marble Queen Pothos, which has more of a cream tone around it. So that's what makes it exciting to go a big box store plant shopping on a daily basis. You never know what you're going to run into. Sometimes you feel like you're not going to see a specific plant, but then you'll find something as beautiful as this Hoya Crimson Princess, for instance, a bunch of these blooming anthuriums. And I just love the fact that that is such a consistent plant. And we just have a bunch of these bromeliads in crates. If you are in the Melissa, Anna area, this is definitely a close Lowe's that you could shop at. And I would say that this Lowe's has gone a long way because I know a little while back when I visited this Lowe's, the plants were not necessarily in the best shape, but with spring coming around, I've noticed that there was a particular worker who had a lot of pride in organizing the plants, watering the plants, cutting off the dead leaves of the plants. And I love seeing that. I love seeing big box store employees take an extra mile to take care of the plants. Not all big box stores are created equal. Not all of the plants receive the same care, but once you find a big box store that is consistent, like for instance, this one, this is one Lowe's I will definitely spend my money on. I will definitely go shopping at because of the extra care they have for plants. Let me know in the comment section, Plant Foldies, actually, if you have run into specific big boxes in your areas that have really good plant care. I will give recognition to this particular Lowe's location, the North McKinney, Texas, the one right off of Highway I-75 North. This is just right before you hit the Buc-ee's in Melissa, Texas. So definitely check this area out. And you can also see that they just have so many Costa Farms plants. This one is an Aglaonema Maria. This is a green plant, green Aglaonema for $15.98. So Aglaonema plants are already underrated, right? But the greener varieties, when you start comparing them to the colorful pink ones, these ones are definitely underrated, but they're such good performers because they are low light tolerant, drought tolerant. They're pretty fast at growing when you compare them to the more colorful Aglaonemas. And then you can see right here, classic pothos plants, pothos, epipremnum aureum. Actually, again, I will ask in the comment section, leave how you actually say pothos. Do you say pothos, pothos, or epipremnum aureum? Costa Farms plants has them. This is the lemon meringue pothos, which is a Costa Farms exclusive. And I'm actually curious to see if anybody has gone shopping online for the new Costa Farms releases. I know that they had recently released on the Costa Farms website the Burley Marks Flame Monstera. Let me know if you got a hold of that, and just let me know what plants you are wanting to buy from Costa Farms. Meeting Costa Farms team out in Orlando, Florida. Super nice people. I am just happy that I made that connection. To Samya and Justin, you guys are doing amazing in terms of the social media presence. And I hope you guys continue to actually push out more Costa Farms plants. I will say that every day I see a Costa Farms plant, whether it is in my personal plant collection or if I am at a big box store or local nursery. Costa Farms is everywhere, and I can see why, because their plant operation is they are really mass producing a lot of these plants. And some people will have their opinions on whether big box store plants, Costa Farms plants, are taking business away from small businesses and local nurseries. I will say this: there is a venue for everybody in terms of where you want to buy your plants. Now, for me, I do big box store plant shopping videos because big box store plants are a little bit more readily available for the general public. I, however, and if you've seen this on my other content, will always support small businesses as well, local nurseries, and you will see even a playlist of Dallas-Fort Worth nurseries. Definitely check that out on my YouTube channel. I mean, I'm constantly promoting Perennials Planters, which is my favorite plant shop in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. I am part of the Cultivation Corner Plant Podcast. We will be doing monthly live selling events on Perennials Planters Instagram account. So in terms of big box store plants versus small businesses, I say if you're able to support small businesses, definitely buy your plants from there. But at the same time, if you are also looking for cost-effective plants and big box stores like Walmart, Lowe's, Home Depot, Target, if those are the stores that you want to go shopping at, I don't see anything wrong with that. There are some people who have very strong opinions to the point where sometimes they will accuse big box stores as taking away or putting small businesses out of business. I don't think that is always the case. It is always about the consumer. It's not about the big box store that sells plants. It is not about the small business that sells plants. It's literally which consumer wants to, where the consumer wants to spend their money. So for me, I would always say, if you want a philodendron golden crocodile from Costa Farms for $19.84, and that's really the only place you can find it is at a Lowe's, definitely go buy it. There is nothing wrong with that. I feel like there's so much negativity when it comes down to where you want to buy your plants. I say if the plant brings you joy, as long as you are consciously aware that there are many other options outside of big box stores, then I say have at it. Let's go shopping. Let's share our plants. Let's talk about the plants, and let's root for the plants that are underrated, like this Dracaena lemon lime for $12.97 for Costa Farms, or this Dracaena Dorado, which really gets large, that is low light tolerant, drought tolerant, cost effective, budget friendly, big box store plant right over here. Definitely check that out. And I just am curious if you guys will actually take the time to let me know in the comment section politely about your opinions about big box store plants and small nurseries, small businesses, what your opinion is about that. Obviously, I always say, if you want to give feedback, there is a way to give a critique, a friendly critique, versus being outright rude or just being negative. Like that for sure is not tolerated on this YouTube channel. And if you guys have ever seen some of the folks come out and defend me personally, plant foldies, you guys are the best plant community out there. The fact that if anybody says anything negative toward me, you guys are out there to defend me. Thank you so much. And like I said, again, everybody is entitled to their own opinion. But what I would say about social media again is, like on that plant podcast, Cultivation Corner. And if you haven't already checked that out, can we please, there's like almost 13,000 Plant Foldy subscribers here, GrowFold subscribers, but we only have less than 400 on the Cultivation Corner Plant podcast, which I am part of. Go ahead and make sure you guys are showing that support. That is a huge project of mine. It's a project of mine that I definitely hope you guys will tune in to every Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. We are on season 2, but to go back to it, it's interesting because if somebody is going to be negative, just know that you will not be allowed to be part of this community. You will end up just not being shown in the comment section. We had some folks that were just not being kind, and to the point where instead of just focusing that energy on that negativity, we just removed it. And you know, some people will say, well, that's not necessarily fair for somebody to just be removed. You know, like I said again, if it's your own social media platform, you are entitled to go about it the way you want to. So it's for those that are thinking about, you know, creating a YouTube channel or maybe creating a community online through Instagram. Just know that yes, our viewers and subscribers are the ones that engage in the content, but at the end of the day, and I hope everybody understands that whatever content you want to put out there for your social media platforms is what you want to do, not necessarily be dictated by what people always want to see. You know, it was a discussion that I actually had with some of my really good friends and some of the diehard super plant foldies. I just love the fact that you guys always encourage me to do me and to be me. And that's very important, especially now that I am, you guessed it, considering going faceless on YouTube very soon. We'll see what that looks like. But I mean, I've gotten to the point where people have seen me out and about anyways in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. It's quite interesting because I ended up going to a plant swap, and it's so interesting that everybody was like, GrowFolds, Richie, we finally see your face. And I always joke around and say, yes, I am not scary. Yes, I am not disturbing because, you know, I wore a ski mask, for instance, at the Cultivation Corner plant podcast. But let me stop rambling on. I know that I've talked a lot more so about things that were not related to the plants we're seeing, but you always have the option to just mute the video if you just want to look at the plants. I know some people have said that, you know, that's what something, you know, that they could do. That is an option. It will not offend me if you just literally want to play my video and not listen to me talk. If you just want to see the plants, like this rainbow moss right here, $20.84 by Costa Farms. What a beautiful plant. And then we also have a creeping fig here, a variegated version. Some people will consider this ground cover, but you'll notice that Costa Farms actually utilize this as an indoor hanging basket plant for $20.84. And this whole aisle right over here has a bunch of Costa Farms exotic angel plants, ranging from $5.98 to $8.98. I love that this particular Lowe's location does take the time to organize and put all of the plants by species and genus, which is really nice. It's a nice extra touch. It definitely inspires you to want to spend more money because it's organized. And you can see plant foldies. We've got a lot of different types of Hydra Helix. Or the correct way to say it, guys, if you want to be that person who wants to correct people, it's actually Hedera Helix English Ivy. This one right here that I'm picking up is a gold baby English Ivy. I really love that green on green variegation. If I'm going to do the Hydra Helix Challenge 2025, which was actually created by a bunch of plant foldies in the live premiere chats, all you have to do to participate is to buy any type of Hedera Helix or English Ivy and then grow it indoors in your indoor space. So there's many different types of varieties. What you want to do is once you buy the English Ivy, you're going to mark the day you bring it into your home and see how long that English Ivy will last indoors without getting spider mites and wanting to go to plant heaven. We'll see how long somebody can grow these English Ivy, but you can see right here, this is another Hydra Helix. This one is the asterisk ivy. Really like the look of that one. And then you can see over here, we've just got lots of exotic angel plants. Red banana croton for $5.98. And crotons, as I say in all my videos, and I will be that repetitive person. Yes, I will be, because you know what? I love to embrace myself and who I am. I am a creature by repetition, a creature by, routines. And I will tell you this. Crotons always remind me of my home country, my family's home country, which is the Philippines. And so, being a proud Filipino American, just seeing how these crotons have actually made it into the US market as houseplants. What I will tell you is, if you ever go to the Philippines, the Pearl of the Orient, what a beautiful country it is. We have a really rich culture. All of these plants are not houseplants. These are plants that actually grow as landscape plants, full-blown trees, and it's always interesting to see a lot of these big box store plants and just know where their actual origins are. And that's the reason why I feel like whenever we talk about a plant as a house plant, there is really truly not a plant that is made for indoors. All of these plants have been sourced outdoors somewhere in the wild, have been domesticated, have been cultivated, whatever you want to call it. Like, for instance, this Florida Hydra Helix for $5.98. It must have been an English ivy that was created in Florida or grows in Florida. But as I said again, when it comes down to like taking plants and adding them to your plant collection, if you ever need to know plant care tips, what I would say is do an online search of the plant in its natural habitat. So for instance, you can search in one of your online search engines, whichever one you prefer, Croton's natural habitat, and you will find a picture and you can kind of see where that plant is growing, whether it's in full sun, whether it's in a jungle deep in the jungle, or whether it's got higher humidity levels in that area. That sort of thing will give you an idea of what that environment should look like for your plant if you're going to grow them indoors. So for me, I just want to make sure that you guys have another way of finding plant care tips. And I just really think just going back and looking at the plant's natural environment is a perfect way to actually learn more about the plant. And then obviously doing your research, obviously watching my YouTube videos. I wouldn't say that I am necessarily a pro when it comes to plant care tips, but I will say a lot of my plant care tips are based on my personal experiences, what I've learned from my grandmother growing up, and then obviously what I've learned from the plant foldy community. I mean, you guys are probably more in tune with more plant care than I am. I just happen to be that person that wants to go film daily 1-hour plant shopping videos and talk about plants, talk about myself, talk about things that are in my brain. And I just want to share that with all of you guys. So as far as all of these plants though, you can see there are so many Costa Farms exotic angel plants. I love Costa Farms plants in a sense that they are generally readily available for the general public. And as I've said in all of my videos, who doesn't want to have access to all of these plants? Who doesn't want access to get some of the plants that maybe were gate kept, where they were just super expensive? Well, now Costa Farms has made it available to where you can collect plants. You can be that cool plant collector. You can be that person that says, yeah, I have a Burley Marks Flame Monstera and I didn't pay a fortune for it. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. What I do think is, You know, the fact that if you're going to buy plants though, like for instance, this Dieffenbachia Amy, you just have to make sure that you are prepared to actually take care of the plant. And that's the thing about me. I have acquired so many plants, 100+ plants, and it gets to the point where it doesn't become a satisfying plant collection because you are more stressed about the watering needs of the plant or the care tips for the plants. I think a 2025 plant trend is people really getting into the stylizing of the plants. I would say in 2020 during the pandemic, more people were more about just acquiring as many plants, but I think now people are really looking at the aesthetics of the plants. Like for instance, like this Aglaonema right here, I need the specific plant ID for this one, $15.98. This gorgeous Aglaonema has like a silver foliage, white stems, and it's just gorgeous. And like I said again, easy to care for plant, but this plant would be really nice to style. Like I would put this in a modern white planter or maybe a terracotta planter and place it in an area that has a little bit more lower light because it does have leaves that are a little bit lighter. But that's the kind of plant styling I would suggest. And you know, it's interesting that, like I said again, it's one of those trends now where people are downsizing their plant collection. A lot of people are doing purges where they're not necessarily buying plants but actually giving plants away. And you can just see right here though, plant foldies. Who doesn't want to go shopping this spring? 2 more days and it'll be spring 2025. Let me know in the comments section what plants you are most excited about. So if you've enjoyed today's video, please make sure you are pressing the thumbs up or like button for this video. I would hope you've already hit the like button for this video. And if you made it this far into the video, really appreciate it. Just know that I will be working super hard to do these plant shopping videos on a daily basis. That way we can see all of these gorgeous plants. I mean, I'm just going to take a little bit more time to show you what these plants look like, these Phalaenopsis orchids. So many different types of blooms right over here. I am curious again, plant foldies, what plants you are looking forward to for spring 2025. I can't believe that it's just 2 more days. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my YouTube channel at GrowFolds with all the notification bell on. So when you press subscribe, go back and make sure to change it to all notifications so you stay tuned with all of my new videos that I will be releasing. I've had fun just going to these Lowe's locations and really highlighting these plants. I'll see you on the next one.